Hi guys, welcome back to my another opening video. When I talk about fourth file, ranging rook side is always be wide for some reasons, and I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. And I always say that you shouldn't move this left goal too soon to leave possibilities for a slow game. And when it turns slow like that, black can develop this silver, and then potentially this gold also goes to the left. So that's why you shouldn't move this too soon. In this case, white goes for edge pawn, and black always has to push back. And this pawn push indicates white might go for a rapid attack, so it's okay to move this left goal to brace for the impact. And now it's official. And from this point forward, black has to be careful with what he does, because if he plays carelessly, for example pawn 2 5 6, this bishop can come out to harass this rook. And here black has two options. One is this strange move. This is something I saw in a book many years ago, and the idea is to trap this bishop. If white promotes on 7-9, then go to 6-8 is amazing. Now black can play rook to 5-7 and then finally 5-9 to kill the horse, but of course white can resist by sacrificing the horse this way, then drop it somewhere, for example on 8-8, and then finally break through the 8 file. It's not gonna happen soon, but it's pretty scary variation, and it's not the best choice for black. And one other option is rook to 6-9, of course, but then white can simply drops back with a bishop. When black tries to fight back, silver to 3-3 is great. It's like two gifts in one, because he can protect against this diagonal and opens up this diagonal at the same time, and it's not gonna be good for black. So that's why pushing the central pawn at this point is not so great, and instead black can play silver to 6-7. Since it's clear that white might go for a rapid attack, it's good idea to secure the square, right? And silver to 5-3. And long story short, pawn 2 4-6 is optimal. If white goes to attack, that's okay, because your silver is already here, so nothing happens. If white plays silver to 6-4, again black needs to be careful, and waiting move like this not the best, because right here, usually this counter pawn push is supposed to be good, but since black didn't push this pawn, this silver can go to the left, then the black's attack has failed. So before this pawn push comes, black should be able to push this central pawn. Then black will be fine. And if this doesn't work so well for white, white needs to be waiting, right? But already he's running out of a waiting move, and go to 4-2 would be a good option for white. Then black can wait by lance to 9-8. And again, white doesn't have option even if he wants to wait. And this pawn push would be good, but by this pawn push, there is no potential for left silver rapid attack. And again, this is an important turning point for black. If black pushes this central pawn now, white can initiate the attack. And it's going to merge with a book line, and it's going to be very aggressive. And based on what I found in the past in professional game records, about 6 or 7 out of 10 raging rook side lost. That's for its aggressiveness, and I wouldn't recommend this variation unless you study really well. And another option here would be silver to 5-6. 5-6. It's also going to be very aggressive, and sometimes you need to be relying on opponent's mistakes as well, because black's attack tends to be under supported. So it's not gonna be a very favorable situation for black. And instead of pawn push or silver development, I would suggest something interesting, which is silver to 7-8. So black can intentionally lose one move here. In this position, this pawn push doesn't work because this bishop is protected by the silver. And black hasn't opened up this diagonal yet, right? So it's going to be fine. If white develops this knight, that's not so good for white because the less silver is here, right? So black can just wait. But if he pushes this central pawn now, not so good because this bishop drop can happen. Now this rook is pinned, otherwise he can promote this bishop to 4-6. So instead of this pawn push, black can wait by go to 4-7. Now this pawn is protected, so it's okay to push this pawn. As you can see, white has not many options to wait, but black can still develop his defense, right? And he can even go for silver crown or even a strange anagama style if he wants. So black has more options here. But of course, if black is able to develop this knight, then black can develop this silver once again. Even if white decides to attack like before, black has potentials to fight back because his pieces will be fully developed, right? So at this point, developing this silver will be perfectly fine. But again, if a black decides to wait even longer to wait for his opponents to make a mistake, that's also okay. And here, one last option for white would be, of course, silver to 7-3, going for climbing silver. Then, once again, silver to 6-7. Then, pushing the central pawn is okay. It's avoiding future threat such as knight to 5-5, so it's a good idea to push this central pawn before a battle begins. And after this pawn push, rook to 7-8 is a good idea. Thanks to this silver development, he's able to defend, and black will be fine. Oh, I almost forgot to talk about why I usually talk about fourth file rook from a white perspective. And this is going to be a good example. One reason is that if the ranging rook side was white, waiting move like this is going to be perfectly fine because opponent's silver is supposed to be here. Then black can just wait for his opponent to initiate the attack with the ideal shape. But since the ranging rook side is black, he has to play one more move to get out of his comfort zone, right? And simply, he doesn't have to lose one move, just like what I showed you in this video. Alright, that's all. Just because I said I often talked about fourth file rook from a white standing point, it doesn't mean it's better. Even professional players still play when they are black today, and I hope this video encourages you to try out. As always, thanks for watching and see you all. Bye.